In this video, I show you how I built my folding gaming table. Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. So here is the video I've been really looking forward to sharing with you, how I built my gaming table. So it's a folding gaming table, and when it's in full size, it's a 7 foot by 4 foot table, but it folds down smaller so I can store it in my hobby room. So without further ado, here's the video. So the centerpiece is, it's 3 foot across in this direction and 4 foot in that direction, and the end pieces are 2 foot here and obviously 4 foot there. And what it means is if I want to play a 3x3 game, the two side pieces can be folded down and I can just play on this centerpiece, and they'll be kind of either 6 inches either side just to put cards and things down, or we can kind of push it to one side and have a foot at one side and play from the two ends. If I want to play a 4x4 game, I can fold up one side, and I've then got a 5 foot by 4 foot area, and it means I'll have 1 foot down the outside where I can put dice and books and things. And then if I want to play a 6x4 game, we can fold up the other side, and again we've got either 6 inches down either side, or we can move the mat across and we'll have 1 foot down the side for books and dice and things, and a nice full 6x4 area. But what it means when it's in my gaming room and the two sides are folded down, I've only got to really store a 3x4 table. So as you can see from the side there, I've used 12mm MDF for the top, and then I've got some wood framing down there as well, which I've screwed in through the top. It's easier to screw down through the MDF into the wood than it is to do it the other way around. So we'll just flip this over so you can see how I've braced that up. So basically I've used, I don't know if the sizes are on that piece there. Yeah, so I've used 38mm by 25mm wood just to brace this up, so all the way around the outside, with some little pocket joints in there for strength, and then just one brace across the middle. For the size of this, I thought that was enough, and I've done that on both of the two outside pieces. Now the 3 foot one in the middle, obviously it has to have the main legs of the table attached to it, so this one is obviously going to have to be braced slightly differently. So instead of just having one brace across the centre, I'm going to have a brace about a quarter of the way up and another brace at the top there about a quarter of the way down, and then that will give me the frame to put the centre of my table in. I've cut the two battens now to support for the middle piece of the table, and I've just clamped one of the edges on, because one of the things I wanted to double check was the distance between these two pieces, but also the length to the end of there as well, because in order to support the 2 foot pieces when they're hinged up, it's going to have what you call a gate leg. So basically this will swing out, and I don't know if we can, let's just try and switch the camera around a little bit so we can see it. So basically this will swing out like this to support that when it stays up. So what I need to know is the point from there to there at that angle, so that when it folds up it'll be the same. And as it happens, I did some drawings and it seems to have all worked out. So it's 609mm from there to there, so the gap between those two there need to be 609mm, and then it means when the leg closes it'll be supported against the two legs. Now we have the middle section all made and braced up. We're ready to make the base, which is the part with the legs on, and this middle piece section will sit on it. So what's obviously important is we need to get so the middle piece sits in here with the legs in the corner, and that'll give us the maximum strength. So on to the next part. And here we have the inner frame complete. So what I've done is I've left this loose at the moment, so this can lift out. So what it means is that once I've got it in place, the base can go down. I can take the top up separately into the upstairs room, drop it on, and then I can screw through in there to secure it, and it means it can be taken apart at a later time as well. So the next thing we have to do is to decide on the height of the table. So I've got these casters to go on the bottom because I'm going to be moving the table around, so I thought these would be perfect to move them around. So I obviously have to take into consideration the height of this caster as well. So this is 65 millimeters high, and I'm kind of trying to wonder what's the best height, because I think it needs to kind of come up to roughly kind of crotch level, doesn't it? So and actually slightly lower than you would imagine, because actually it makes it easier to lean across the table that way. So I'm going to do it about 800 mil. The leg length will be 800 mil high, and then we'll have the thickness of the MDF, and then obviously any tables or anything on top, any sort of mats or terrain tables on top of that as well. So it's going to make it roughly about, say, 815 millimeters high, which should be a good level. Well, typical British summer, just as I was about to show you the next stage of this, it started to rain. So I've had to bring this inside just to kind of to show you where we're up to. So where we were before, it was upside down on the base. This frame in here kind of slotted into the middle part of the tabletop, and we were just fitting the four legs. What I then did was I then braced it again with some around the bottom, keep the legs nice and sturdy, because it's, as you can probably see, it's now on casters as well. And this allows me, I can just to very easily move it around the room, so when it's not in use, it'll put over there beside that wall, and when it is in use, we can pull it out and get it in a position for the game. So I'll pop the top on it so you can have a look and see how it is. And there we are with the first stage done. So this edge here is the 4-foot edge, and across here is the 3-foot edge. So this will be the part where we hang the 2-foot sections down, and the same on the other side, and then we can fold them up, and it gives us the full width of the table. Another reason for bracing it across the bottom there as well is what I intend to do is to cover that over, probably with a piece of MDF, and then I've got a little bit of storage as well. So I've got some boxes which I'll put terrain in, and then I can store the terrain underneath as well. And here we are the next day after the rain subsided yesterday. Slightly better weather today, so although we do look like we've got some dark clouds coming in, so who knows how long we'll have. But what I've done is I've hinged one of the edges today. So the plan was to have 3 hinges, so one in the centre and 2 sort of a third of the way across. But what I found is that this wood has probably warped a little bit, so it's not, I don't think it was the best quality wood to start with, but right on the edges here there was a slight kind of a difference in height when I flipped the table over. So what I've done is I've just used a couple of smaller hinges on the edges, just to try and to keep everything nice and tight. And you can see now that it hinges up, no problem at all. So just to do the other side, and then we've got the gate legs left to do. So construction wise, the table is now finished. So as you can see, I've now also edged around the side here, so when we roll dice, nothing falls off. My plan is also to make so when the table lifts up, let me just lift it like that. You can see there it makes one full edge. I'm going to make another edge piece like this, and I think I'll put it on magnets, with the plan being that it then fixes to that edge, and the same on the other side when we're using the smaller size of the table. So as you can see underneath where that hinge is there and just inside, I've got a gate leg on the inside. So what I'll do is I'll just I'll get my glamorous assistant to hold the camera, and I'll show you how we put the legs up and how the table looks when it's fully up. Okay, so the next stage really is just to paint it up, and originally what I was thinking of doing was obviously just filling all of these screw holes in just with a little bit of wood filler, smoothing them off ready for painting. But then I had a bit of an idea to use these cork tiles. So these just come from a local DIY store, and very luckily they're exactly 1 foot square. So what it means is, I'll put a few in here so you can see. Excuse the aeroplane flying overhead. So we'll fill the whole table with these. We'll stick them down, and what it means is that when these are all stuck down, they're exactly in line with where the joins are, so as it falls down it'll be nice and tidy, and again there, that's obviously right in line with where those the 2 foot gaps are as well. So I've tried them all out there to make sure it fits, and it fits perfectly. So we're going to stick all of these down, and then what it means is that we can just roll dice on them. It gives a little bit of cushioning, and it also just gives us a nice a bit of a softer surface for if any models or anything get dropped. So next stage, stick all of these down. And here's the finished table. As you can see, I've covered up the holes there where the screw holes were, just with some wood filler. I'll just wait until that dries and I'll sand it on down, just to finish it off before I paint it. And here I've put one of my gaming mats on the top, just to make sure everything was the right size. Probably a bit late in the process, but actually it's obviously I've measured everything about 25 times before I've cut it, just to make sure. But yeah, the gaming mat looks pretty good on there. As you can see, it's up against that far end there. It's a 6 foot by 4 foot mat, and it leaves me 1 foot down the side there just to put any models or anything that's been lost during the battle, or we can even roll the dice on here. Now with the cork bottom, it'll just take some of the noise out of the table. So next stage, yeah, as I mentioned, just wait for this filler to dry, sand it down, and then get the paint on it. And here it is, the finished project. So the table's complete now. It's all been painted up. Some of the paint is probably soaked into the wood at different rates, so it could potentially do with a second coat, I think. But I'm happy with it as it is now, and I think I'll probably live with it for a little while and game on it, and then just give it a touch up in a while. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Never really built anything like this before, so I'm really impressed with my own skills, really, even if I do say so myself. There it is, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed seeing how I made this, please leave a like rating, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, as there'll be lots more videos coming, especially now I have the game and table to do some playthroughs and some battle reports. So I look forward to seeing you in the next videos. Thanks for watching.